Hey everybody, it's Dr. David. So, as you know, every now and then I like to share about good things that are going on in our life. And wanted to talk a little bit about this, the joyous occasion that we had this past weekend, which was my daughter's bat mitzvah. Talk a little bit more about that in a second, but as many of you know, it has been obviously a very rough year for our family between it starting off about 14 months ago with our father having a stroke, and then my mom being having the diagnosis of the cancer and all of the complications that went along with her surgery, keeping her in the hospital for a very long period of time, and then got her to the chemotherapy, which she did tolerate really quite remarkably well. Little complications every now and then, but did very well, and to the point where she is now done with that and is now on a maintenance therapy, and they have no evidence of cancer in her body, which is great. Um, of course, because of all of this, we had a lot of life changes in our family and having to reschedule things, and the biggest one being Naomi's bat mitzvah. So, for people who do not know, in the Jewish faith, at 13 years of age is when a person officially becomes an adult within the religion. Now, obviously, 13 years old is not really what an adult is, but probably back in biblical times where there were life expectancies in the 30s and 40s, it probably was as such that once one was of age to bear a child physiologically, that they were probably an adult and getting started with that. So that's probably around the time where it is. But it's also a time where people start to understand more about the importance of community and leadership. And so, what happens at a bar or bat mitzvah? Bar is for a boy, bat is for a girl. We would sometimes use the word b'nai mitzvah in order to signify either or many or multiple of these types of events. But what really happens is during this, it's really a whole weekend that's usually dedicated to that to the individual. And so there's different services. There's services on Friday night. There's services on a Saturday morning. Different B'nai Mitzvah students will do different levels of leadership in these services. And Naomi is one who just completely rocked it out and led every single one of these five services. Did an absolutely remarkable job. One of my cousins actually said halfway through, "Why do we even have a rabbi here? Naomi's doing everything," which, of course, was a high compliment. Um, so as part of this, that means also, within the Jewish faith, when certain things need to be done, and there needs to be at least 10 adults there, so she gets to count towards this to what we call a minion. Um, and then there's usually luncheons, and we had a big party the night before. I mean, the night after. On this was on Saturday night as well. But part of the challenge that we had as a family is we were originally supposed to do the her weekend was going to be in February of this year. Because of the pandemic, we decided we needed to push that back. We pushed it to May. By the time it came around to starting to make decisions about that, that's when mom was still going through her chemo and some of her rough times, and we kind of felt we needed mom to make sure that she was going to be there and happy and healthy to be able to enjoy this mitzvah. That's a term we use. You hear people talk about bar mitzvahs, but a mitzvah is kind of like a good thing that's happening. It's a blessing in a way. And so we want to make sure it's there. So we moved it a second time to a third try, was a charm, to this past weekend. Now, this can be pretty stressful for the B'nai Mitzvah student because they have to learn all of this stuff, but there are certain things to a given weekend that may have to do. So she had to learn part of this all over again in a new way, and she just totally did amazing with that, and it was just so wonderful. But every kid kind of gets to make it their own. So Naomi wanted this to be just really about the things that she enjoys in life. So we focused on things like musical theater and Spotify and watching Friends, which is what she's been watching right now, and just other things. Sports. She's really into volleyball and very much into playing flag football for her school. So, like at the party, different tables had different themes based upon these, and so people, when the little name cards, everybody kind of sat at the football table or the friends table, etc. But anyways, Naomi just did absolutely wonderful. We are so incredibly proud of what she accomplished. Everybody just was blown away by it. Everybody just had such a lovely time at the party. The DJ rocked it, and it was just kind of became like a big dance fest. And all of her friends were there, and we had lots of family there, and lots of friends within our community there, and it was just great. Now, it's so important when we have the opportunity to be able to share things with our family and with our community, times of joy. We know that, we've had so much times of misery this past few years, and plans being canceled, not just us, and trips being canceled, not being able to do what we want to be doing, being told by authorities that we can't do something that we wanted to do. But to be able to just take some time to celebrate, to dance, to eat together, to laugh, it's just a true blessing. And I do want to thank everybody who did participate in this, and also just thank Naomi for being just just a star, and just handle this with just such grace. A lot of kids could have potentially really lost it by the time things were changed around to a third time, but she just handled it with just such amazing care and understanding, and really just wanted to make sure that everybody was happy and involved in it. So anyways, thanks to know a little bit more about us and what we do, and things that I do outside of this office, and when talking to my patients and preparing educational videos for all y'all. So anyways, thank you guys for listening. Have a great day.